We are anonymous. No faces. No flags. No permission slips. What you are seeing is not a scene from a disaster movie. It is the capital of Russia shrouded in black smoke, as flames rise from critical energy infrastructure deep inside the city. One of the most heavily defended airspaces on Earth has been breached. Again. Overnight. A massive wave of Ukrainian drones targeted key facilities in and around Moscow, including oil refineries and fuel storage sites that are essential to Russia's economy and military logistics. Videos circulating across social media captured an extraordinary moment. An oil storage tank erupted into flames, and its massive metal roof blasted hundreds of feet into the air, spinning like a flying saucer against the smoke-filled sky. Initial reports claimed that a Ukrainian drone had directly struck the tank, but subsequent analysis told a different story. Multiple observers, open-source intelligence analysts, and footage from several angles suggest the explosion was likely caused by a Russian air defense interceptor. In an attempt to stop incoming drones, a Russian surface-to-air missile appears to have missed its target and struck the oil facility instead. The irony is impossible to ignore. The very system designed to protect Moscow may have contributed to the destruction unfolding across the city. Additional footage showed anti-aircraft missiles streaking through the skies above highways, residential areas, and industrial districts. Residents watched in disbelief as explosions echoed across the capital. For years, the Kremlin projected an image of invulnerability. Moscow was supposed to be untouchable. Its layered air defenses were presented as among the most advanced in the world. Yet Ukrainian drones continue to penetrate those defenses, and not by accident. This is part of a deliberate strategy. President Volodymyr Zelensky calls these operations long-range sanctions. The idea is simple. If Russia uses energy revenues to finance its war machine, then Ukraine will target the infrastructure that generates those revenues. Oil refineries, fuel depots, logistics hubs, not civilian populations, strategic assets. Speaking at the NATO summit, Zelensky made it clear that Ukraine intends to continue these operations. He stated that long-range strikes against Russian oil facilities are producing measurable effects, contributing to fuel shortages and reducing federal budget revenues. He also emphasized that mid-range strikes are disrupting Russian military logistics, complicating the movement of equipment, fuel, and supplies to the front lines. His message was direct. Putin has not stopped the war. Therefore, Ukraine will continue to impose costs on Russia. And the costs are rising. The Moscow refinery targeted in these strikes is not just another industrial site. It is one of the largest fuel suppliers in the region, responsible for a substantial share of Moscow's gasoline and diesel needs. Located only about 15 kilometers from the Kremlin, it symbolizes something much larger than fuel production. Its vulnerability exposes the limits of Russian defenses. Thick black smoke drifted across Moscow for hours. Residents reported the smell of burning oil throughout the city. Videos showed dark clouds towering over apartment blocks and highways. Some described oily residue falling from the sky. Others filmed chaotic scenes as air defense operators launched interceptors over busy roads. The message reaching ordinary Russians is becoming increasingly difficult for the Kremlin to suppress. The war is no longer distant. It is arriving at their doorstep. Meanwhile, European leaders are signaling that support for Ukraine remains strong. Germany's defense minister stated that Putin has reached a dead end, and that the negative consequences of the war can no longer be hidden from the Russian population. Standing alongside senior European Union officials, Zelensky received renewed commitments for long-term financial and military assistance. European leaders announced additional support measures, including a €90 billion loan package over the next 2 years. Their message to Moscow was unmistakable. Ukraine will not stand alone. NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte echoed that sentiment.
Ukraine is doing with its drones and other tactics they are using to make sure that they degrade the energy infrastructure in Russia, trying to, of course, also to reach the capability of Russia to produce new weaponry, etc. So, and of course, what we are seeing is between 30 and 35,000 Russians killed each month, and that these are.
Whether the Kremlin admits it or not, the war is imposing staggering costs. Economic costs, military costs, political costs, and now increasingly psychological costs. Because when Moscow burns, the illusion of control burns with it. Yet while allies coordinate support, and Ukraine adapts to a new era of drone warfare. Another story is unfolding across the Atlantic. Donald Trump and his political allies continue to send mixed signals about Ukraine, NATO, and America's role in defending democratic partners. For years, Trump has undermined confidence in the alliance system that has helped preserve stability in Europe since the Second World War. He has questioned support for Ukraine. He has attacked NATO members while praising authoritarian leaders. He has framed international cooperation as a burden rather than a strategic necessity. And in doing so, he has handed propaganda victories to the Kremlin. Every time Trump casts doubt on Western unity, Moscow benefits. Every time he attacks allies instead of aggressors, Putin gains leverage. History has shown that dictators exploit division. They count on democracies becoming distracted, divided, and exhausted. That is why moments like this matter. Back in Moscow, the fires continue to burn. Black smoke fills the skyline. Emergency crews race to contain the damage. Residents document the chaos on their phones. And Russian air defenses continue firing into the night. The world's attention is fixed on a city that was once considered beyond the reach of war. No one knows what comes next. What is clear is that the battlefield is changing. Cheap drones are challenging billion-dollar defense systems. Energy infrastructure has become a frontline target. Distance no longer guarantees safety. And the Kremlin's promise that life inside Russia would remain untouched by this conflict is collapsing in real time. Putin wanted a short war. Instead, he created a prolonged conflict that is reshaping global security and bringing instability closer to home. As Moscow learns what millions of Ukrainians have endured for years, one reality becomes impossible to deny. Wars of aggression carry consequences, and those consequences are no longer confined to the front lines. We are anonymous. We believe information is power. We believe accountability matters. And we believe the world deserves to know what is happening beyond the headlines. Subscribe, share this video, and join us as we continue exposing the stories that powerful people would rather keep hidden. Expect us